Hello everyone. This is a very small guide on eye signals. Let's get into it. So, first let's talk about your eyes. Your eyes have pupils, and these pupils can get bigger and smaller depending on what you're feeling. When someone becomes excited, their pupils can dilate up to 4 times their original size. Conversely, an angry, negative mood causes the pupils to contract to what are commonly known as beady little eyes or snake eyes. It's also found that dilated eyes make you seem more attractive. Don't believe me? Here. Which picture on this woman seems more attractive? Alright, so now that we have a basic understanding on the eyes, let's learn some eye signals. The eyebrow flash. This gesture is a long distance hello greeting signal which has been used everywhere since ancient times. The eyebrow flash is universal and is also used by monkeys and apes as a social greeting signal, confirming that it's an inborn gesture. The eyebrows rise rapidly for a split second and then drop again, and its purpose is to draw attention to the face so that clear signals can be exchanged. Extended blinking. A normal, relaxed blinking rate is 6 to 8 blinks per minute, and the eyes are closed for only about 1/10 of a second. People under pressure, for instance, when they are lying, are likely to dramatically increase their blinking rate. Extended blinking is an unconscious attempt by the person's brain to block you from their sight because they've become bored or disinterested or feel they're superior to you. It's as if their brain can no longer tolerate dealing with you, so their eyes shut for 2 to 3 seconds or longer to wipe you from sight and remain closed as the person momentarily removes you from his mind. Superior types may also tilt their head back to give you a long look, commonly known as looking down one's nose. This is also done by a person who feels that their importance is not being noticed. This is mainly a Western cultural gesture and a specialty of English people who feel they're upper class. If you see this happening during a conversation, it's a signal that you're not doing well and you need a new tack. If you believe the person is simply arrogant, try this. When they've closed their eyes for the third or fourth time, quickly step to your left or right. When their eyelids lift again, it gives the illusion that you've disappeared and materialized in another place, and this can really rattle them. If the person starts snoring, you can safely assume that your communication has failed. The geography of the face. So, the next time you're in a social situation or whatever, try these 3 gazing behaviors without warning everyone. Their behavior will their behavior will change towards you depending on which gaze you use. The social gaze. Experiments into gazing reveal that during social encounters, the gazer's eyes look in a triangular area on the other person's face between the eyes and the mouth for about 90% of the gaze time. This is the area of the face we look at in a non-threatening environment. The other person will perceive you as non-aggressive. The intimate gaze. When people approach each other from a distance, they quickly look between the other person's face and the lower body to first establish what the gender of the person is, and then a second time to determine a level of interest in them. This gaze is across the eyes and below the chin to lower parts of the person's body. In close encounters, it's the triangular area between the eyes and the chest, and for distant gazing, it's from the eyes to the groin or below. Men and women use this gaze to show interest in each other, and those who are interested will return the gaze. We usually give 2 quick glances and then look at their face, and despite most people's denials about it, that everyone does it, including nuns. Fun fact, unlike men, women have wider ranges of peripheral vision making it seem like they may look at one thing but are looking at another. Men have tunnel vision, meaning they'd only focus on one thing. A woman's wider ranging peripheral vision, however, allows her to check out a man's body from head to toe without getting caught. Male tunnel vision is why a man will move his gaze up and down a woman's body in a very obvious way. This is also the reason why men are constantly accused of ogling women's bodies at close range, but women are rarely accused of the same, even though research shows that women do it more of it than men. Looking down towards the group during a conversation serves different purposes for men and women. For a man, it lets him give a woman the once over. For a woman, it gives the dual purpose of letting her check him out and at the same time send a submissive signal of looking up, or looking away and down. The power gaze. Imagine the person has a third eye in the center of their forehead and look in a triangular area between the person's third eyes. The impact this gaze has on another person has to be experienced and be believed. Not only does it change the atmosphere to very serious, it can stop a board dead in the tracks. By keeping your gaze directly in this area, you keep the screws firmly on them. Provided your gaze doesn't drop below the level of your eyes, the pressure will stay on them. Never use this in a friendly or romantic encounters, but it works a treat on the person who you want to intimidate or the person who simply won't shut up. The power stare. If you have soft, weak, or wimpy eyes, practice using this power stare to give yourself more authority. When you're under attack from someone, try not to blink while maintaining eye contact. When you look at the attacker, narrow your eyelids and focus closely on the person. This is what predatory animals do just before they strike their prey. When you pan your eyes from one person to another without blinking, it has an unnerving effect on anyone who watches you do it. To do this, move your eyeballs first and then let your head follow, but your shoulders should remain still. The power stare was used by Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator and can strike fear into the hearts of the would-be intimidators. But better still, have a policy of dealing only with pleasant people so you'll never need to whip out your power stare. What channel are you tuned to? A person's eye movements can reveal that their mind is focusing on by telling you whether they are remembering something that they have seen, heard, smelled, tasted, or touched. This technique is the development of American psychologists Grinder and Bandler and is known as Neurolinguistic Programming, or NLP. In simple terms, if a person is remembering something that they saw, their eyes will move upward. If they're recalling something they heard, they look to the side and tilt their head as if listening. If they are recalling a feeling or emotion, they'll look down and to the right. When a person is mentally talking to themselves, they look down to the left. The difficulty is that these eye movements can occur in a fraction of a second and can come in clusters, making it harder to read live. A videotape replay, however, can let you see discrepancies between what a person says and what they really think. 35% of people prefer the visual information channel and will use phrases such as, "I can see what you mean. Can you look into that? That's perfectly clear." Or, "Can you show me that?" And you will get their attention by showing them photos, charts, and graphs, and asking if they get the picture. 25% of prefer the auditory channel and use words such as, "That rings a bell," "I hear you," "That doesn't sound right," and that they want to be in tune with you. The other 40% prefer the feelings channel and will say, "Let's kick that idea around. Our department needs a shot in the arm. I can't quite grasp what you're saying." They love to test drive things and be involved in a demonstration so they can grasp the idea. The power lift. To keep control of where a person is looking, use a pen to point to the presentation and, at the same time, verbalize what they see. Next, lift the pen from the presentation and hold it between his and your eyes. This has the magnetic effect of lifting his head so that now he is looking at you and he sees and hears what you're saying, achieving maximum absorption of your message. Keep the palm of your other hand open when you're speaking. It's also found that women hold direct eye contact than men during presentations, especially when they're not talking. When women are talking, however, they avert their eyes more than men do. Men stare at women, men stare more at women than vice versa, and men give less direct eye contact when listening to other men than when listening to women. Right, I hope at least you learned something. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.